So me and my grandmother was talking about Queen Elizabeth that just passed away, and all this other stuff. But I have no idea how we even got on the whole discussion of Biden and Trump. And I already know from the dream that God has shown me about Trump and how the media came and they literally try to destroy him. And the reason why is because his values, he stands for God. I don't care what anybody says, this is what was revealed to me. Okay. Now, I don't know if the man has changed, but the last time I looked, he was still praying. He believes in the Bible. He believes in Jesus. Far as Republicans, they are pro-life. They don't believe in killing babies. They're very family value, believe in a man and a woman as husband, wife, and children, and the values of this country in which, we the people we stand for, they stand for the Constitution. The Democrats are liars. They're trifling. And I was bamboozled years ago when I first went to vote, my very first time vote, and I think it was when Bush was running. I didn't even know what party to run for. And I called my grandmother and asked her, which party? You always vote Democrat. You always vote Democrat. So I just went ahead and voted Democrat. Why? Because my grandmother voted Democrat. Because my mother and them voted Democrat. They always push this whole thing that Democrats are for black people. But what I have found is that these nasty, disgusting Democrats, they always want to use the black card and everything when they get in office. Oh, we're for the black people. We're for the brown people. And then all of a sudden you had the LGBTQIE, whatever the heck you want to call them. They started using the black card and, oh, we're for these people. These people are not for God. I would never vote Democrat ever. I am appalled at the most stupidest people in the world that went ahead and voted for Biden to be in office. And the thing that really gets me is that I've seen these interviews with a lot of these youngins out here, and they're talking about would you vote for Trump? No, hell no. I wouldn't. I mean, you should hear the stuff that they're saying, and I'm like, you have no idea, youngin, that the current president right now, the way that he's running this country, you're gonna find yourself in a draft. Because you in your 20s, you 18 years old, you have no idea what stands over these borders that's waiting to behead you. You have no idea. And yet, y'all don't even understand the beauty of freedom. When Biden decided that he wanted to go to the high court and mandate a shot for all people, I thought I was going to have to flee the daggone state to go to Florida. That was the most scariest time in my life that I've ever encountered. I vow I would never vote for someone who wants to be a dictator. But when I'm speaking to my grandmother, the only thing she can see is this whole, Trump is racist. Trump will never be. I'm like, I want to say, shut up, old lady, because you ain't the one that's going to have to protect your children out here. You're not the one that's going to have to be a front line fighting the war if a draft happened. I love my grandmother, I do. But your ignorance is blinding you. And then she says all that stuff that they found over in Mar-a-Lago or Mar-a-Lago, whatever you want to call it in Florida. You know why? They don't want the man to run. They don't want them. Let me tell you something. Them Democrats are running for cover because they know everybody and their mama gonna be up voting, because the only people that voted for Biden are in the grave. And you know what I mean by that. You had dead people voting. My vote was stolen. I did not vote for Biden. And because he's been in this office, you see all the issues that we're dealing with today. And you still swear up and down that there's nothing wrong. Oh, yeah? Y'all have never seen war before. You've never been in a famine before. Our morals are being taken away from us. Look what they're trying to do to our children. And the reason why they went out to Florida the way they did, because Florida refused to do that mandate. So then all of a sudden they wanted to use the Rainbow Tribe. Oh, they're going against the rainbow. You can't say to know what I mean. These people don't have any values whatsoever. And you want me as a Christian woman, as a believer in Jesus Christ, as a pro-life, as a person who loves God and loves this country, loves our freedom. You want me to really vote for this sack of bones up here? And the Democrats are so trifling that they knew that this man would, he was too incompetent to run the country. They know he suffers from dementia, yet you still put him up in there because of your selfishness. It was even when Clinton was running. Come on, her time was up. They were still selfish. So my grandmother, like, they're never going to let him back in. I said, you know, my dream, I saw when he lost. And I said, this is going to affect the presidents to come, meaning that they were going to purposely make sure that the good men would not be able to lead and run this country. But see, y'all spoiled fools out there. You have no idea. You don't know what World War II was about. You don't know what World War I was about. You ain't never been in the military before. You ain't never had to die. You see it on TV where you see the flags on top of the daggone caskets, but you ain't never been frontline fighting for your freedom. Y'all so spoiled. You have no idea when somebody is running this country that's literally ramming it right into the ground. And then you expect me to sit up here and vote for a dude that cannot lead this country, that's going to try to take away our freedom, our way, our liberty, our truth, and the right to bear arms. You got me all the way messed up, and including my own grandmother. I love her behind that. Honey, when they mandated that thing, and some of y'all went out there and y'all took that daggone shot because you were told if you don't get it, you ain't going to have a job. Now, what president that was going against the Constitution, our liberties, our way, our truth, our life, and you voted for this dude? And y'all sitting up here, I would much rather have him than the orange man. You are some fools. You don't know. You don't know being not able to come out of your house or being dragged away to a concentration camp. History will repeat itself if you don't know your history. No wonder why they're trying to kill off all the daggone old people. But some of y'all done lost your mind. And I'm going to tell you something. One thing I noticed about them Democrats, let election come around and all of a sudden you get a handful of black people being popped left or right. You got all of a sudden Black Lives Matter in the streets. Oh, and then you got to have the so-called person running for the Democrats and we all for blacks. I'm done with that. Nah. You're not going to use my skin color so you can get up there and just and destroy freedoms that people have fought for, that we were taught, that we took an oath for under God. And then these fools get up in there and they don't even want to say, in God we trust. And you're supposed to be a Christian, but you still voting for somebody who's a satanic demon. Get out my face. Get out my face. And then she gonna call me back. You really think they're gonna make him president? They trying their best. They trying their best to make sure he does not become the president of the United States. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I gotta vote, when I vote, I'm voting with 10 fingers, 10 toes, because I'm up in there and Trump got my vote. And it's a lot of blacks. And we're going to be lined up. The rest of you ignorant fools, you better be very careful. Because you vote the wrong person in office. Don't be surprised when you get the knock at the door. Hi, Crystal. Here's your papers. You have been drafted. What? What do you mean? I don't know nothing about no war. All I do is be on my cell phone. With Crystal, you should have took the time to vote for the right candidate instead of listening to the mainstream media, because we all know they're lies. They're liars. YouTube is a lying platform too. So is Facebook and Twitter. These people have tried to manipulate us into thinking that the people that really have been fighting for our well-being is against us. Is against us. Y'all crazy. Y'all so crazy. You're going to call me back talking about they ain't never going to let him. Well, guess what? I'm going to be voting. All I can do is my part. Because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody that's sitting there complaining about food prices, inflation, gas prices, and all of that, they turn around. I think that we was swindled by voting for Biden. I said, so y'all the reason why we in this mess, huh? They all shut up real quick. I said, so y'all voted for him, and that's the reason why we struggling, huh? But y'all don't understand the powers that be that really are trying to destroy America. And you better be very careful, because if you cast your vote out there for somebody, you thinking they fool you, and the whole time you see the tree and you know the fruit and what it bears, destruction, famine, and he ignores everything. He walks away, and yet and still y'all still think that this man is so noble. That's what happens when an ignorant society votes for an ignorant fool. It is ridiculous to me how you cannot see that this man is the biggest traitor in the history of America. And you sit up there, he still got my vote. Okay, all right. Because I'm going to tell you something right now, and I just turned 40. So I don't know if I'm still in the age of being drafted. But all the rest of you youngins out there that act like you ain't got nothing but faces and stuff, and you on your TikToks and stuff like that, don't be surprised when you get drafted. You better take heed if you love your freedom. You better take heed if you love your freedom. And for you old folks too, you just remember one thing. They already know that a lot of you baby boomers, y'all got that wealth from way back in the day. They already trying to murk y'all off. So you better be careful for who you vote for as well. You know, but I will say this, I'm not voting for no daggone Biden. And my first vote, when I voted for Barack Obama, the Democrat, when he ran, I voted for him. But when he got up in that office and switched like a 10-speed and bent over to pick up the soap, I said, I'm not voting for him no more. It hurt me, and I was like that. I was still biased for the dude, but I'm not gonna vote for nothing like that, because I got children and I got a child I gotta raise. I gotta upbring my child, and I want her to know America at its greatness and its goodness. Not at some daggone Sodom and Gomorrah, not at some straight corrupt type stuff. Y'all better wake up and smell the daggone coffee. But yeah, she got me sitting up there talking over me and stuff. And I love my grandmother. I do. But on this one right now, we can agree to disagree. But I'm going to tell you right now who I'm not voting for. I'm not voting for Biden. And I may just have a sign in my daggone yard that's going to say, let's go Brandon, because I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Trump. I don't care. This is my vote. And I'm not going to sit up here. I mean, y'all just want to be biased. Y'all don't even see the truth. The man could be right behind. Okay, you know what I feel like? I feel like when it comes to election time, everything going smoothly. But when it comes to election time, I feel like they contact the police departments or something and be like, let the dogs out. Start killing off more black folks and stuff like that. So the Democrats can be like, we're here to save the day. You know, this black crime, you know, Black Lives Matter, you know. Forget all the folks that's been rotting up in jail, and then yet and still, these people been in jail for 20 years for selling marijuana, and now y'all making marijuana pizza cakes on freaking TV. Really? These people are crooks. It's the reason why they're going after Trump the way they're going after Trump, because they don't want him to get in there legitly. Your man suffers from dementia and you still rather vote for him. And it's frightening how stupid people are. It's like we're all in this van, right? You on the passenger side, I'm in the back side, and you really want Biden to drive? You really want Biden to drive? I'm not getting in the van because I know he's going to crash it. How so, Mona? Because the man can't even remember what the heck he's eating, and he's chewing it right now. You people ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And I hate to say it, with some of these daggone shows I've been seeing, when one guy hit the street in New York and he was asking people of color, black people, minority people, what do you think? Would you vote for Biden? Black people are racist. The black people that I saw, not all black people, because I ain't racist, but the black people that I saw him interview, they were racist. They didn't want to vote for this man because, oh, you know, we just going to vote for, they always want to vote for the candidate that supposed to be representing black people. And even when he sit out his mouth, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Like, we don't have brains enough to know that you are an intruder. You are a Decepticon, sir. All I saw was hatred, hardening of hearts, thick skulls, stupid people saying, I ain't voting for him. Why? I asked somebody, why wouldn't you vote for Trump? I said, well, what reason do you have that not like him? Well, my mama, see, it goes back to your mother, then it go back to her mother. So bottom line, this is a generational thing, and you didn't even look to see whether or not you liked certain candidates. You didn't even look to see whether or not this person was a legitimate, nice person. I literally looked at an interview with Putin, and I said, Putin's pretty cool. I mean, he believes in Jesus. He believes in God. I do too. He believes in protecting children. I do too. He's pro-life. I am too. He's definitely not for that gay stuff. Me neither. So I'm like, I like the dude. I like what he's standing for. So what's the problem? It's not going along with your new world order here. And that's why I'm not voting for no daggone Biden. I'm not voting for him. And I hope that Trump does get in office. Oh, and another thing too. All these lawsuits that's coming out with the folks that took those jabberoos. You know, they found that a lot of these people got messed up behind it. They don't even know what the long-term effects are going to be. But it was purposely done. And I lost my father. Okay, my father didn't die because he had some infection or whatever like that. There was two big things that this so-called secret sauce was giving people main reactions, and one of them was the clotting, and the other one was myocarditis. And it just so happens that my father had myocarditis. And I told the medical examiner I would never trust those who administrated this thing, knowing what the side effects were going to be. And you know what the medical examiner told me? Yeah, we've been getting a lot of complaints. So Biden would never have my vote. He won't. And he already know he don't need to run. But the Democrats, this black woman right here, I ain't never voting Democrat ever again. And if the Republicans ever feel like they want to switch like 10 speeds and they want to forget our democracy, they want to forget our constitutional rights, they want to forget what America stands for, I ain't voting for them either. But one thing I'll always be is true to myself. I'm going to be true to God, and everything that I do in my life, it has to represent him. And if you got one party that's all for partying with the devil, that's for destruction, that's for killing innocent blood, innocent babies, ain't no way in heck in the world I'm going to vote for a Democrat. And for you to call yourself a Christian or a believer and a good person and you vote for something like that, something wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. But some of y'all need to get off the bias horse, and you really need to interview these people. You need to see what they really stand for. I'm going to tell you something. Biden couldn't stand people way back in the day. He couldn't stand black people on that way back in the day. The smirks on his face. Oh yeah, he was one of them to call them the niggas. He could not stand black people. So don't let this all fool you like he all for the cause. He not. He not, and was never for the cause. But anyway, so yeah, I got into it. And I'm not going to say I got into it with my grandmother, but sometimes older people can get so stuck in their ways they don't even want to see the light. But I refuse to go down with the ship. I'm just not. And I don't care. I'm like this. Mother, father, my father went on to be with the Lord, but cousins, friends, y'all want to stay next door neighbors, y'all want to stay on this thing and think that, oh, you know, you're not voting with your head. You're just being biased at what the news tell you. You better go out there and you better vote for freedom, because you're going to find yourself in shackles. You're going to find yourself in freaking shackles. And you got a lot of people that got mixed You got a lot of people too with the whole mixed thing with Queen Elizabeth that passed away. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I heard she was sick, I already knew. I'm like, she's not gonna make it. She's 96 years old. It's time for her to go, for real. I mean, she lived a long life, but it's time. It is what it is. But one thing that the reality hit is that not even the Queen can outwit death. She cannot out death. Like, it comes at everyone's door. You know, and if you remember when she first got inaugurated in, then you know your time is coming too. If you remember when she was in, your time is coming too. If you remember now that she has passed during your life, your time is coming too. You know, that's just how it is. But anyway, y'all have a blessed day today. Make sure you go out and vote Republican. You gotta don't vote Democrat. I'll be the first to tell you don't. And even if somebody get in office, first of all, these people, you got to be very careful who you putting up in there. Now, if a Republican gets up in there and he's a satanic or he's worshiping the devil, he wants to kill babies, kids, and all this other stuff, don't vote for them either. But you got to look at both parties and you got to ask yourself which one represents my freedom. Which one is going to push forth this pursuit of happiness, and which one is trying to take it away? The Democrats are trying to destroy it. I mean, I would never vote for these dudes ever again. I don't even, again, the reason why I voted for them back in the day is because I was told to do that. The Democrats didn't want slavery to end. They're horrible people, and they like to use the black card so they can get up in there. These people are a hot mess. A hot mess. I would tell all my friends and people I know, don't vote for no daggone Democrat, or all of us gonna be remembering the day when things used to be nice. And some of y'all that you're hard-headed fools. I don't mean to call you the fool. Somebody told me that, the Bible says don't call them fool. But your hard-headed knuckle sandwiches out there, you're gonna find out. Especially you youngins that be on your iPhones and taking selfies and stuff. You're gonna find yourself taking selfies overseas, being drafted, fighting on something you have no idea. Why are we even fighting? Why am I here? That's because you voted for the wrong one. You voted for some weakness, and everybody thought, oh, these people are weak. Look at them. Look who they voted for. They voted for these bones. Y'all, they were making fun of us because of the dementia that Biden suffers with. It was an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment. People just making fun of us. They were making fun of us when Trump was in office. Trump was like, everything is fine. They had their rocket, we had ours, we settled it, everything is fine. They knew, like, we not messing with this dude, because he ain't playing no games. Biden got in office, they sitting up here trying to hide the daggone codes from this dude. Talk about he won the election. If he gets in here the second time and y'all vote in some crazy Democrat just because, I got news for you. This is it. This is it, honey. I'm not going to say I'm 40 years old. I don't think they draft people in their 40s. I have to look at the drafting age. I got to look at the drafting age, because all of y'all that think it's a game, you're this close. This close. You think it's a game. Oh, that's never going to happen. Okay. You got to look at them armies all around the world. What they sitting up here having parades with nukes and stuff for? Like, who do they plan to do this to? Huh? Who coming up in this country doing whatever they want to do? What's going on? And then when you ask the president, he switches and don't even know what the heck you're talking about. He can't even read the teleprompter, and y'all sitting up there talking about this is who you voted for. You voted for somebody who is not capable of being the president. You voted for somebody who's really not the president. He has strings on him while his folks in the background running stuff. That's what you voted for. Trump was able to take to Twitter and tell you his thoughts. He was able to do a live feed inside of the White House so that American people could see what's going on and who he meeting with. They gave him a piece of paper and told him to sign off on it. He told them, man, take that crap back and redo it. And he told the American people they wanted to send all of this money all over the world, but not in America, in the pockets of Americans. I told him we're not having it. Americans need to be fed first. And I said, that's right, Trump. That's right. Y'all wasn't singing Jack when y'all was getting them Trump tracks. First of all, he came up in the real estate guru. He knows the ins and outs. He knows the business of rebuilding stuff and wealth and this and the third. Wouldn't you want somebody with that type of skill to run it? No, instead you want, you want him to run it. And all y'all want to get in the car and let him drive you. Let him drive you. Let Biden drive the van, the bus. Let him drive the 747. He don't have no pilot license to do so. While y'all be right in there, right? Because I'm not gonna feel bad when it crash and burn. I'm not gonna feel bad. So yeah, my grandmother felt some type of way. I was like, I don't care. I'm too grown for this. I'm serious. Like, you don't understand. You do not understand how scared that was when it was hitting home, that if you don't take this shot, you won't be able to work, which means you won't be able to provide for your family. We don't know what's in that shot, but I'm looking at Biden saying we'll go to OSHA. I'm like, this evil son of a gun. And I'm looking at him go to the high court, and I'm praying to God. I'm praying to God that this is not going to happen, Lord, because I can't take that. And I'm so grateful they stopped it. But all those people that got hurt behind that mandate, all these people that still aren't able to work because now they're suffering brain and neurology, you know what I'm saying, the neural issues, heart issues, all them soccer players and football players and sports. I mean, these people in their 20s having heart attacks and hearts exploding on the field, and y'all want to act like none of that happened underneath this president that you voted for. Yeah, I'm voting for Trump. I ain't voting for no daggone Biden. And if Trump switch like a 10 speed, then I'm going to have some words too. And if he don't run, then we got to look for somebody who's going to rightfully represent the people, rightfully not back down, rightfully say, look. And it was a lot of folks that was going toe-to-toe to these evil Knievels. No, Nancy Pelosi, her horrible tail, she better not be up in that office. People crazy, man. People are crazy. But anyway, so that was one of those conversations I had with my grandmother. And she was like, you saying all that stuff they gonna find? Why they all up in his house any daggone way? This man is a billionaire. And Trump will tell you in a heartbeat, I'm not a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. I remember he said that years ago. It was okay when he was in them wrestling mat movies. It was okay when he was on The Apprentice and all these other stuff. It was okay when he had all the Trump towers around and everybody was going having a good time in the casinos and going out with their booze and their families on vacations, places and stuff that he built. But then when he becomes president, it's a big issue. You know why? Because they're not controlling somebody who already controls his own destiny. They didn't like that. So then now we have to spool to the media and we have to put him down because now it's a yelling match. The issue at hand is this. The Bible says that a house that is divided will not stand. It won't. So we have to draw back order, especially on the Democrat side. But I just feel like these fools, these dudes are so far gone with their moral standards. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I'm not going to sit up here and be trying to vote for somebody who don't believe in God, who doesn't believe in my values, and they don't care for my values either. They don't care about it's my body. I don't want you to touch my body. Why you need to inject something in my body? Now it's already out there. So it's a one world order thing. That's what they're planning. Yeah, it could be an ongoing soap opera, but when that thing hit home, then you like, hold the heck up. You know, again, like I said, I seen my own family member go downhill because of this daggone mandate. And that president that's in office right now, I think he only got 1 year left, but we don't know what can happen in a year. And some people, they'll do anything and destroy you for the next daggone person. So you better pray that he go in peace. Pray that he get out of there in peace, because we can't lose. We cannot lose any more freedoms. We can't. We can't lose any more freedom. But anyway, y'all. And like I said, I had a dream when I knew that Trump was going to lose, is that I walked up to Trump and I was mourning, crying. And if you play back the videos, I was mourning, and I grabbed his hand and I was mourning, like it was coming like from my chest. I was mourning so hard, and Trump had this militant look, and I told Trump in my dream, I'm going to tell you my dream, because I don't believe that they're two birds or whatever, two of the same birds. In my dream, I told Trump that he did a really good job, and what they did to you was wrong. And when I said what they did in the dream, I knew I was talking about the media. And then I said, this is going to affect the presidents to come. I knew in my dream that anybody who was going to run for president, a good candidate, was going to be blackballed. The media was going to do things to him like never before, like they did to Trump. This is before I'm not even like a big Trump fan. I just knew I couldn't vote for a Democrat, and that Trump stood for the values, majority of the values that I stood for. So I voted for him, but I had that dream that God gave me. So he gave me that dream, and I knew before the votes came out that Trump did not win. And I knew that it was purposely done of what they did. Now, you could try to say that they're both for the same wing, but they're not. Because remember when Jesus said in the Bible, how can Satan divide Satan? Because they wouldn't be going after Trump the way they be going after him if they were on the same team. So I'm saying this in a nutshell. Y'all think it's a game. And a lot of people I know said I didn't vote. So I'm not talking about y'all. But I will say this, in my dream, I knew, and another thing too, it was a foreign lady in my dream. She was approaching me and Trump, and she was crying too. And I knew when I woke up from the dream that this meant that this is going to affect the United States citizen and also the foreigner. So y'all can take it the way y'all want to, and a lot of y'all thinking it's nonchalant, like, yeah, they both play the same teams, but nah, they don't. Because why are they going so hard on Trump like that? When the Democrats finally got in office, when the votes came out that you say that Trump lost, why was you still trying to take the man to court? The Democrats are freaking evil, man. They are freaking evil. They are evil. I would never vote for those people ever again. I would never be a Democrat ever again. And they swindle all of y'all. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, right. Not to them. Are you kidding me? You know how many people in jail for silly things, accused of stealing a freaking leather jacket? One guy down south doing 30 years. They like to use the black code coloring so y'all could go out there and vote for them. And then they just let anyone through the daggone loops, because when they get over here, they want them to vote too. Because look, hey, look at us. We for the black and brown people. Please, those people are evil. They don't want you to get ahead of nothing. Even Trump said, come on now, you need to go ahead and vote for me. Because look, your schools are horrible. They're not trying to put this in there. Everything he said was right. But y'all couldn't get past, excuse my words, that the man is rich. And that would have ran and became a republic president would not have been able to withstand all of them lawsuits that was heading in Trump's direction. But because he got pockets so deep, he was able to set up a team. Anytime when you got so many hits coming at you left and right, you got to look and be like, man, what y'all doing this for? Because it's a threat to what their big plan is. But I tell you one thing, it's a threat to what their big plan is. But I tell you one thing, y'all be stupid all y'all want to. Y'all go out here and you sit up here and you vote for somebody that does not stand for the values of this country and what our Constitution. You will find yourself drafted into a war. I've seen it with my own eyes. I have seen with dreams of invasions. I have seen it with my own eyes. You keep on playing around and you're going to remember the day what freedom was, because you take it so lightly. You don't believe that people actually died for our freedom. You don't believe that people actually went to war so that we can have the things that we have. And you don't believe that there are evil people that really don't care. They really want you in shambles. You're just a number to them. They will sell you and this entire nation out to make sure them and their family is on. Right now, Miss Jones, I'm not going to be able to honor you and watch the link, but I will look at the link. But as right now, I'm telling you about what I discussed with my grandmother today. So I'm not going to be able to do that right now. But again, what I'm trying to say in the video is that y'all need to really look at these people. You need to look at their backgrounds and what they really stand for. And you need to ask yourself, are they going to represent me and my quality? That's what you really need to look at, because Biden does not. And I go to work. I go to work Monday through Sunday, and sometimes I'm even working on weekends, and I shouldn't. Every day when I go to work, I have to act a certain way, I have to be professional. I have to know what I'm doing. I do not understand how a man of his age could be voted into office. And again, like I said, I had a dream of Trump, and God showed me the dream of Trump, and I shared that dream a couple of months back when not a couple of years back when he lost the election. I shared it, that I told him, you did a good job, and what they did to you was wrong. Remember, I'm not a Trump fan. Like, I'm not one of those, hey, let's go, Trump's in town type or whatever. So for me to have that dream, God was showing me what's coming to this country. So I get my resources and my information from God. Okay, now I noticed that when Biden got on his platform, they removed God from it. Wait a minute, I believe in God. Before Biden and Trump, I believe in God. That is my father. So when the Democrats removed prayer in Jesus' name off of their platform, that let me know, oh, you the enemy. You have no respect for my God. So I'm not going to vote for you. And anyone who calls themselves a believer, who votes for someone who does not believe in your God, something wrong with you. Now, on the other end, I saw a lot of prayer with Trump. I saw a lot of prayer. He even led in prayer. He even pointed at the Bible. He pointed at the word. Okay, he stands for my values. He got my vote. But the rest of y'all still on this, they don't care about black people. Please. Some of these black people out here don't care about black people. It wasn't a white man that killed my brother. It was a black man that killed my brother. Now, that's a whole nother story that I can go down to. But I'm not going to go there. But anyway, having that conversation with my grandmother, I'm like, I don't care if you vote. If you vote for that man, you vote for him. I'm not voting for him. He didn't get my vote last time, and he daggone sure ain't going to get it this time. The Democrats ain't never going to get my vote again. Never. Unless you got some really good God-fearing people that go up and take over the Democrats. They're never going to get my vote ever again. I have seen people, you will vote for someone that would kill babies fresh out the womb, and you know that's against God's will. You know it says thou shalt not kill, and you would still vote for somebody like that. You will vote for somebody who pushes on this whole same-sex crap, but then goes against the values of male, female, husband, wife, and children. You will vote for that, but that's against the Bible. It's against God. I'm not going to vote for that. And you cannot call yourself a believer if you are lukewarm and you back and forth. You either gonna vote for right or you're not gonna vote for right. But don't ask me no stupid question when you know what my values are. You know I believe in God, so I'm a vote for the candidate that believes in God too. I'm a vote for the candidate, and that's not even talking about who did Biden put in charge of our health. Didn't he put a man in a wig in charge of our health, or what y'all like to call a transgender? Didn't he do that? And y'all still went ahead and voted for him, but you call yourself believers. You're a bunch of hypocrites, and you don't have nothing to stand for. But that's okay. Go out there and vote like that again. I lie to you now. You're going to find your sons and your daughters drafted into a war. And I hate to say it, but a nation that is not led by God will lose. They will lose. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day today.